How long does it take to get your green card approved in the U.S. adjustment style after you send in the medical checkup? Now, I get this question asked all the time. And if you're in the situation of applying for a green card in the U.S. and mailing in your medical checkup for I-693, then this video is perfectly for you, or at least the end zone won't be. It will be kind of annoying. But for those who don't know what I'm talking about, it's not going to make much sense, but you'll learn about U.S. immigration and how annoying the system is. So when you file for adjustment of status in the United States, you also either submit with the application or can afterwards a medical checkup to make sure you're not contagious and have all these other kinds of issues. The importance of that is usually these either expire and have to be redone, or people don't send it with the initial application, and the government asks for it. They say, okay, send us one. And typically when they do that, the case gets approved, with a couple of days. That's how it's been historically. But for the last 6 or 9 months especially, we have it where we send the medical checkup in and we get no notice for months and months and months. And finally got one approved today, and I want to tell the timeline of that at the 1 minute mark of the video if you're still watching. But we submitted the case, no RFEs for anything bad, but we got an RFE out for like 9 months saying send in a medical. We sent it in. And then I expected the case to be approved, but like 4 months went by and nothing happened. And then we got the I-130 petition approved. I was like, well, that's interesting. We'll probably get the adjustment status approved soon too. Nope. It goes another, not too long, but like another 6 weeks until the adjustment status is approved. So it's very frustrating because why is this happening? Usually this all happens at once really fast. Instead, it got piece by piece by piece, and it took a long time. And it's a one-off. I would say two out of 10 times this happens. Most times it's much faster. But these kind of things happen. That's why when you think about timelines in the immigration process, it's completely unreliable. This morning, actually, I just came back from an interview with USCIS for a case. And they couldn't make a final decision at the interview, even though they wanted to approve it, because they had the paper file, but the one service center had not yet emailed them the digital file. And you think the digital file would have been easy access, and the paper file is a hard one, which typically the problems I've had when you go to in-person interviews with USCIS is that they don't have the paper file handy, so they can't make a final decision. The digital is there. They look at it, they scroll through it, like, okay, this thing's good here, and then they have a paper, but this time they have the digital. So luckily, we waited, they got it, but it's like this kind of stuff is just like, you never know what you're going to get when you're handling these things. That's why immigration lawyers come in handy, because we could kind of read between the lines, use ways to connect with the government or just pre-planning to try to avoid these, just because you see wild stuff happening all the time that when we tell people on videos and stuff, they think we're making it up. But when there's millions of cases happening, at the edges, there's going to be, some percentage, even small, it's going to affect, hundreds of thousands of people when errors happen all the time. So be prepared for that. If you have a good case, you have a good case, but you just want to, get help, do it the right way.